Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you've had a great week. Mine's been okay. How's yours been, Danny?
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Overall, really good.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot chipper than I was last week, even. So can't complain there. I had a conversation the other day, actually, with a local dad who also is a like a health coach. So a little mental health conversation, physical health conversation with him. Not going to be something where like I get involved with the coaching aspect that he has, just because like financially, like that's not going to be possible. But just the conversation as itself, as a consultation, was super helpful in seeing some things. Have you ever done anything like that before?
Yes and no. I mean, of course, I've had a therapist for like 30 years off and on, so that's part of that. But a long time ago, we were actually going on a trip to the Virgin Islands, and we were going with two other couples, and I was in my probably early 20s, and the other couples were in their early 30s.
Yeah.
And we all said, well, we're going to go scuba diving, yada yada. So we all went to Weight Watcher together, all six of us. The three men went to scuba lessons, and then me and one of the other men went to a professional physical trainer.
Okay.
And said, hey, we want to know what we're doing, we want to know how to do. And it was amazing, I have to say that. And then it was not cheap, but it was a great investment. I mean, I learned stuff from him that I still use today, that I think is just as valid as the day he told me, and it's, again, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've done it. I have not done it recently. I am, and this isn't an open invitation to, spam my DMs or anything, but I am looking for a life coach now. Just because I have a lot of things that I want to do that I've never done before. And I need somebody that I can bounce ideas off of, that isn't going to get, flustered or overwhelmed or try to fix it, which a lot of people do. Professionals tend to go, well, those are some amazing things that you want to do. How would you get from point A to point B? And, they're, in my opinion, surprisingly, again, because when I first heard of life coaches, I went, because my mom had one, I went, what? A what? What is that? And yeah, but once you understand, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing in life, and it'd be great to have somebody else at least can give me some guideposts,
Yeah.
So.
One person that comes to mind for that is Ben Killoy.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely somebody that fits into that scheme of things. Although if you're wanting somebody that's maybe older than you, then there's other dads or whatever out there that
not a lot left.
I mean, we got what is it? Carlos? Is that is that who that is?
Oh yeah, let's see. There's Carlos. There's David Stanley. He's older than me. Marcel Dam is older than me, and Tony Hernandez.
There you go. So
that's it. So
wait, is Al Watts older than you?
I don't know, but no, I really don't think I want somebody that I know already.
Sure.
I want somebody that can be a little more, like going to the doctor,
somebody outside of the box type of deal.
Yeah. One of my friends was a doctor. I would not go to them. I don't know. For me, it would just be weird. Like if you were an MD, I'd be like, hey, Brock, I'm coming in on Tuesday, and we're going to talk about my colonoscopy coming up or whatever it is. I don't know. It just would feel weird. And I think same thing, like for a therapist or a life coach or even a personal trainer.
Yeah.
I want somebody I don't know.
You're not wrong in that statement, because I remember when we were having our first or it was our second, I think, one of the two. We went into the L&D to get ready for the delivery of the baby, and one of our friends was the L&D nurse, who she saw our name as because we were scheduled to come in, and she switched with another nurse so she could be there with us. Cool. And my wife goes, I have one rule: when it comes to being checked, someone else is coming in to do it. You are not doing it.
Mhm.
and it makes total sense just from what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
just there's things I tell my doctor I don't want anybody to ever hear.
yeah,
You know, I
or
mean,
see.
it could just be, you know, I have an eyeball that's weird or something. I don't know, you know, but it's just, there's just no,
Yeah.
I'm good. So it's the same with a life coach, in my opinion. There's a lot of things that, you know, like, well, I'm thinking about doing this. And they were like, you? Oh, man, that.
Yeah.
All right, fine, buddy.
I do have to say one thing that's going on in my head right now as we've been talking the entire time. When you said long time ago, I have American Pie. It's stuck in my head. The song
Drove the Chevy to the
long
levee.
time ago. Yeah.
Nice.
I can still remember.
Good for you. Welcome to my world.
It was immediate. As soon as you said it, I was
Yes.
like, there it goes.
That's a win. That's a
is, that,
win.
is that a win or is that just me being an old man? I don't know which one.
I don't know about old. For me, it's ADHD. I always have a song. And people say things and like people will go, okay, so we're halfway there. And I'll go, oh, living on a prayer. And they'll look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this, you said it, you triggered it. And then this is the obvious next line. So I'm with you.
We are having, there's so many guys listening right now that are just like, how dare you? And I have that song stuck in my head. You're welcome. Oh, that's another one. You're welcome.
Yeah, no, that's a great song. I couldn't sing that one though. That was an amazing performance by Dwayne Johnson.
Yes.
The Rock. He would, and I'm like, he's doing what? He's gonna sing? I didn't know he could sing. And I'm not going to say I would buy an album if he put one out. You know, he wasn't that good, but he did really well for that for the character in Moana.
True, he did. Yes. Well, you know, it helps when you have Lin Miranda like writing this stuff. Lin-Manuel. Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. When you have him writing songs, I mean, he kind of just puts it up on the tee for you. So
Yeah,
it doesn't take much. Mother's Day is coming up,
indeed,
and I feel like
looming.
Sometimes it's easy to figure out what to do for Mother's Days, and others days not so much, and sometimes it just falls in your lap, you know, like whoop, that was easy.
Mm-hmm.
So
like can we do this thing? Sure. Can we make it your Mother's Day present?
Yeah
Is that
like,
kind of
yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in my house
what
right
happened
now
for you?
Yeah, that's very much what happened for me. It was, hey, let's put in a new bathroom downstairs. And it's like, okay. And so that has taken up quite a few different birthday, anniversary, Mother's Day, Father's Day. Like, who knows what all it's going to
Every time one more thing happens, you kind of go, all right, well, this is your birthday too.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is quite the expenditure to put it in. But at the same time, she's very happy and excited about the new bathroom, and she's done about 90% of the shopping involved in it and decision making. And I can say that because she's not going to tell me otherwise right now, even though she's over there cringing because she's only giving me like 3% credit for this whole thing.
Well, I have to say happy Mother's Day. You know what? Because and this doesn't. I don't want to make it sound like you're allowing. That's not the word I'm going to use at all. It's not what I'm saying. But the reality of it is, you know, maybe in some partnerships it would be like, well, I want you to do that. I want this done. I want you to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And then in others, it'd be like, no, I would like to be the one that, you know, maybe it doesn't do the scheduling because it might be something that, you know, especially if you're an at-home parent, you kind of want to handle the scheduling. So, you know, when somebody's going to be in your house.
Right.
But you know, if it's like picking out colors and patterns and, you know, hey, what kind of, we have this kind of tile for the wall, or we could go with this melamine board. Oh, well, I want the tile or whatever. And giving someone that full leeway and respecting that, you know, you'll appreciate whatever it is that they do, I think is a huge gift, because a lot of us are control freaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want, oh, wait, you're going to put what in there? Oh, no, we have to have this kind of tile for the floor, or it's going to, I don't know, mildew or something like that. Calm down, you know?
Right.
So a lot of what you're doing, I think, is, I mean, it also could be that, I mean, like for me, I'm reminded of my wedding, and, well, all three of my weddings. And I went, yeah, I don't care what we do. I just want to be married and get it over with and move along. And then we could just be a couple and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And whatever my wife want. Yeah, I'll do that. What about? I'll do that.
My thing has been though is just I want it to be a bathroom that she loves. I'm not that picky, honestly.
Mhm.
You know what her style of thing is maybe not going to completely match up with mine, but if I like the aesthetic, great. And that's pretty much what it's been. Like she's like, hey, here's some options. Which one do you think you like best, kind of deal? And we work through it together. And she doesn't like me saying the word fine. Oh, I'm fine with that. Say that, like daggers
Yeah.
come out. So
Yeah.
I
don't like
try
the
not
word
to do
fine
that.
either.
Yeah, well, it's got a real bad PTSD sort of
That
thing.
bad. All
Yeah,
right.
it's that bad. But at the same time, too, it's been a joint effort. But just to see her happy and excited about it, and just
Mhm.
it's things like a bathroom vent. Okay, for me, great. Put a bathroom vent up there, whatever.
Right.
She was like, I want one that's got a light, and then I was like, well, okay. We went and looked, and we found one that actually had a Bluetooth mic or Bluetooth,
Yes.
speaker in it.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, we're going with that one because that would be just awesome. We like listening to music, taking showers and stuff.
Exactly.
So we get that. She wanted to get like a very nice shower head. We ended up getting one that's like got the rainfall, the waterfall, the four
Yay.
sprayers that hit the body,
Nice.
like, and then also it's got a spillway for like filling a tub, which we don't have a tub. It's a walk-in, but she wants to do like a collapsible like tub for down there. If she's like, I just want to soak and be down there. It's like that can be arranged and worked, to where that can be filled up. So, just stuff, just little things like that. And then also, this was probably the funnest one. And this is what makes me feel like the house is like two different ages, because it's a 1940s house, but we were like, oh, how are we gonna heat this exactly? Like, are we gonna just bring over like air from the furnace, or what are we gonna do? And the contractor was like, you could put in a heated floor. And we're like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, they have these like pads, like they roll out, and it heats and it's got a temperature gauge. It all runs. It's not water. It's actually like wired, which is cool. And so we're like, all right, let's do that. So we'll have a heated floor that'll also heat the room. So
yeah,
pretty nice
and
deal.
Far better. I mean, and I love my vent in my bathroom and all that, but far better, in my opinion, to have a heated floor, because the floor is always cold.
Right.
If you take a hot bath or something, you finally get all your muscles relaxed, and then you step out and the floor is freezing cold.
You get a shot right up your spine. You're like, ooh.
Right. Yeah. I ruined all my work.
So that's the other thing. And then, we ended up going with a toilet with like the two buttons. So like, hard flush and soft flush or something like that. So just all those all those little attributes to make it.
Did you get
really
a bidet?
Nice place. No, I don't need to be sprayed like that. That sounds like an assault on my body I don't wish to have.
I've never had one, but I have to say there are a lot of very intelligent and I would say physically sensitive people who told me that a bidet is the way to go. So I don't know if I'm ever going to do it, but I'm like, if you're upgrading your bathroom,
I really don't need to sit on the toilet after that and go woohoo, like, because that's how I would feel. Just saying, that's to me. That's immediately
warm water though.
I don't know what it is. It wouldn't matter. Just the fact that I'm getting shot, like it's there.
I'm pretty sure it's not a garden hose, man.
I don't know, but I've seen some videos, man. They just like the water just like shoots across the room or something because someone didn't even know there was a bidet. So I don't know. It does not sound appealing to me. Not at all.
That's cool. I was just curious.
No, you're fine. And then we have a we found this like 5x3 panel, like glass panel door that we stained ourselves. And so we'll have a like sliding barn door as well, which will look really neat.
Nice.
So yeah.
I do like the barn door style inside.
Yep. And I haven't posted any pictures online about this yet because I want to wait until the end so I can show like the full progress of it all in one Phil
Mhm.
Swoop or whatever, but we've been showing it to our family and some friends and stuff, and they're all very excited about it. So yeah, that's basically what Mother's Day is. That's what's going on in our house.
Yeah. And is that, tell me the truth, and you don't have to tell me what else, but is that all that's going to happen?
As of right now, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't really I got nothing else at this moment. So,
Okay.
but who knows? I'm very spur of the moment sometimes. So it just
Mhm.
depends. If something catch my now, I always am looking for things for Corey all the time too. So go down the Aldi finds aisle and find little
Yep.
gardening things and stuff. She likes all that. So anything along those lines where that fits into her wheelhouse of that or hummingbird stuff. Like, so I keep my eye open for that kind of thing because they always get good stuff at Aldi, and that's usually where I'm at typically when I'm going shopping.
Now I have to ask, because this is personally important to me. Is it just hummingbirds, or is she a bird watcher?
It's mostly hummingbirds. We do like watching birds too, but I mean, there's so many different types that are actually outside the house here. But the hummingbird is the big one. That's the one that she likes to watch the most because they like dive bomb each other and stuff, and it's really
Oh,
fun
yeah.
to watch
Well,
them.
a hummingbird too, just hovering there, just like man, it's just hanging in air. It's the most amazing
Yeah.
thing,
Oh, I've been known to just set up my DSLR on a tripod and zoom in on the hummingbird feeder and just sit there and snap shots at them as they're
Mhm.
like landing and stuff. So
Cool.
it's pretty fun. Some people didn't think that like they actually like landed and like stopped fluttering their wings, and they do.
Yeah, they have to at some
which is-
point. Yeah.
which is pretty interesting.
I, I
Yeah.
ask because we do have a hummingbird feeder, and my wife evidently loves bird watching.
Oh,
And this is something that she never did in Georgia. And I think coming closer to home, and there's like birds that she like hasn't seen since childhood. I don't know, Orioles and other things. I don't remember all the names, but she used to sit and watch birds with her grandmother, evidently, and they had a book of all the birds of North
Oh, yeah.
America and that thing. So I got her and this is for Christmas, or no, maybe her birthday last year. Anyway, I got her previously. Got Fabian to pick out a bird feeder with a camera.
I was just gonna wonder if that's what you were talking about because
No.
those are awesome looking.
And she has on her phone, of course, a little app will go beep beep, and she'll look at it and oh look, here's a video
yeah,
of the birds on my feeder right now. And I'm like, you're 90 years old. You put that down and let's go. I don't play soccer. I don't know, something young people do. I don't know what young people do anymore, but we have to go do that thing because you can't be serious. She's posting pictures of it all the time, puts it on Instagram and all that. And she's got little videos, and she's lost her freaking mind.
Well, I'll tell you what though, I have a 10-year-old son who honestly he must be 90 years old too because he loves bird watching.
Well, I could see maybe the youthful part of it too. Kids.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
he's learning about them. Like actually his homeroom teacher's husband is a birder and like actually he has like a bird club there at the school, and he comes into class and he'll like teach the kids about different birds. And so like we were driving in the car the other day.
This is embarrassing.
We were driving in the car the other day and he's like identifying birds as we're like driving around and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's all excited because actually his class gets to go on a 2-night, 3-day field trip to a state park here in Ohio. And when they have free time, they can go out with Mr. Bill and go bird watching. And so Hezekiah is like, I need to get a pair of binoculars so that I can go bird watching. And I'm like, hey, dude, all right, like we'll get some binoculars. Like you can knock yourself out and have a great old time with it.
I don't know why that man thinks he can just hijack a younger generation of people into his birding. But okay, so this is what happened the other day. I'm sitting here and I suddenly hear a house alarm go off, and I'm thinking, maybe someone's feeding the neighbor's dog. I mean, nobody's going to break into anything around here. It'd be very, 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 very surprising. But you hear it go off, and I'm like, okay, and it stops after a minute. I'm like, well, somebody probably went into their house and didn't have time to get their alarm turned off before it went off, and then they were able to shut it off. And so I mentioned it to Marnie that night, and I said, hey, did you hear that? I think maybe the neighbors evidently have an alarm system or something. That's kind of cool. And she said, oh no, that was my bird feeder. And I said, what? And she said, I've been getting a lot of grackles, which evidently is a bird,
Uh-huh.
on my feeder, and I don't want to feed them. So my bird feeder has an alarm sound that it will play and make the bird fly away.
Oh, it's got a
So-
defense system. Okay.
Right? And I said, you must not ever do that again, because that was so loud. Everybody heard it. And we have a lot of people who are in their 70s and retired and don't have the hearts for a sudden alarm system.
They're gonna head down to their bomb shelters.
So right, it's like, dude, we're going down, right? And so she said, oh well, I'll try. And so today she's sitting there and she's got her phone, and I was making dinner or something. I don't know what I was doing, but I heard her. And she goes, "Hey, get off that." What?
She's yelling at him.
What are you talking about? Yes, because it's there's a speaker that you talk into your phone and you're talking out your bird feeder, and the robin, I think it was, flew off, and I'm like, what are you seriously? It's
Now
just like,
wait,
yeah, it's
we got to go back to this. It was Fabian that picked this out, right?
yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
it's all his fault then. Like we're just
Yeah,
gonna put it
pretty
at that.
much. Yeah, he's enabling this is what it is, and I'm gonna have a talk with him about people and their birding.
He seems to have done a really good job. Like, all right, these are all the things I know that mom will want.
Yes,
Like,
right?
these are, like
And I never would have considered like putting a speaker on my bird feeder, my bird watcher or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's a camera. That's cool. No, in fact, it is a two-way communication device with birds because she watches the videos and they have sound. And like I hear the wind chimes going, and it's very close to the wind chimes. So it sounds like the wind is going 90 miles an hour. And I'm like, whoa, is that a storm coming in? What's going on? And she goes, oh no, that's my bird feeder. Woman. What I'm not getting her.
that's entertaining. That's all I gotta
Mother's
say.
Day. She loves it for sure. I send her jokes and memes about it all the time about being a birder, but so I'm not in any way encouraging that. So
Did you see the
So-
post I actually put on the other day about the villain to watch out for in the neighborhood? It's a
No.
squirrel dressed as a bird saying,
oh
I need bird food.
yeah,
food."
yeah, I think I did actually. Yeah, I don't remember it saying villain, but I remember the bird dressed.
Well, I
mean,
sent
the
it to
squirrel
Tony
with the bird
Con.
beak.
Yeah, I tagged Tony Conrad in it because he's always like talked about his squirrel war that he has
Mhm.
all the time and all the different things that he tries to do to like get them to vacate his yard, which none of them seem to work, but it's always hysterical to watch
Yeah.
the story unfold as the summer goes on.
I told Marnie if she would let me set it up, I'll put up a button controlled sprinkler aimed at her bird feeder if she wants me to. Because if just you see a squirrel coming, it's shoot him with water, just hit him and scare him off. But
Yeah.
she seems to think that I might go too far with that, and I don't know.
Well,
Maybe paintballs. I mean, come on.
David McMillan has a motion sensor sprinkler system set up out at his garden
There's
because
deer.
for the deer. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
And
seen those. I've
it's-
walked into those, and I didn't think that was funny at all.
You sprayed like right in the face.
Yeah, I was working around somebody's house, and I go around the back of the house. What the?
Yeah.
And of course, I'm an idiot, so I went twice.
Oh, jeez.
Like, oh, what the heck was that? Oh, I better run faster. No, it's getting me. It's getting
You
me. Yeah.
you like turn around, you're like trying to get out of your eyes, you turn back around, it's like, oh, like right at it again. It's a great
It's like a
comic.
seltzer bottle and Three Stooges. They're just waiting for me.
Like,
Yeah.
where's the video camera to get that? That's AFV worthy right there.
That is. Watch this idiot. He'll go through it 3 times before he figures out what's going on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So that was last year's thing. So what are you looking to do this year for Marnie?
Well, I will say this is my secret, for lack of a better term, and I think this is the best way to do this.
Hopefully this isn't the one episode that she listens to then.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I went to her and I said, "Tell me what you want for Mother's Day.
Oh, okay.
I want to know what gifts you want. If you want to sleep in, if you want a special meal, if you want a whole day of special meals, you want to go to a hotel and just disappear for a day. Tell me what you want." Because one of the things I have realized is that she will often hint that she doesn't want anything. She will often say, well, let's just not do anything for Mother's Day. But she does actually want things.
Sure.
And I'm pretty good at getting gifts, but I don't know what she'd want from all 4 kids,
Okay.
And I'm not going to try to guess for them. And I'm not sure what they would come up with.
Yeah. Well, that's the one thing that probably will happen is the kids will end up being like, I want to go get something. Like that's where that'll take place.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Marnie said she wanted each of the kids to draw something, make a drawing for her or artwork of whatever kind on a like 5x7 piece of paper that she can put in her journal.
Oh, cool.
So that she can have one from all the kids and put it in there. And then she wants, it's called haluska. It's a Polish meal, I think. It's sausage, cabbage, and egg noodles.
That sounds yummy.
That's it. It's one of the best comfort foods, especially if you grew up, in the Midwest, I think.
I think you've talked about that on a previous episode too.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that.
It's a big meal for her. It's her favorite, which okay, that's fine. She doesn't like me to doctor it much at all. I'm like, can I just put some garlic in it? No, I don't. What if I made bacon and then use the bacon grease to make the sausage, and then we did the cabbage and the sausage and the bacon grease, and then she's like, like this would be so much better if you'd let me go a little crazy. But
this needs to be done like my ancestors had it when they came over.
Bingo. Yes. Yes. This is not how they make it. And actually, one of her relatives said, I've never heard of anybody putting garlic in it. And I'm like, that's because you guys don't like spice. Like bland. Everything
like
is bland. No,
bland. We want it. Yeah.
They do make
all
amazing
natural
stuff. Yeah. So, but we're pretty much going to do that. I'm definitely, if she wants to sleep in, but you know what? That's any Sunday for us. And that's one of the things too, that I think we realize being the at-home parent. And you did this for years. I'm sure that you see all the things they say, well, what should you do for Mom on Mother's Day? Well, she should get breakfast in bed and you should clean the house for her and she shouldn't have to do anything all day. And I'm going, so it's just another day. It's like every other freaking day that I have to live
for an at-home dad. Yeah.
But it is, I think, very important to, at least for me and for me to help my kids to remember that being a mom is a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
Now being a dad is as well, and I'm not going to downplay either one, but the reality of it is that day is there to remember the sacrifices that your mother has given for you to make you who you are and who you'll become.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think is more important than, the gifts or even sleeping in. Maybe no, definitely not more important than sleeping in, but better than a good meal.
So in other words, tell your kids how many hours that your wife was in labor with each kid to be like, that's the amount of time of manual labor that you need to do out in the yard.
No, Marnie was a baby factory. We weren't in the delivery more than an hour each
Goodness.
time.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was like, I'm ready to have the baby now. I'm like, well, nobody else is ready. So you need to wait. We gotta.
Jeez. Yeah. Corey would be so jealous. Like she was,
oh yeah.
Those kids did not want to come out.
Yeah.
And it was long labor time. So
yeah, I think we spent one where we weren't, I think with Marcus, we weren't quite sure when he was going to get there. And we were kind of waiting because we had to go to a hotel downtown and we'd moved out of town. And it was kind of hanging out at my mom's house around Christmas.
Okay.
Or just after Christmas, and like any minute now, any minute. And on that one, we waited around. But once she went into labor, yeah, it was maybe an hour, 2 hours, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah. And big babies, double digits, just all but,
but
one of them. Yeah. 10, 11 pounds, just like plop. Like, yes, this is my baby.
So, Viking babies.
Yes. I wish. Yes. Yeah. But see, and that's the kind of thing too, is talking about the sacrifice of it all, because we do a lot, as at-home dads and as fathers, we sacrifice a lot, but carrying a child for 9 months and then going into labor and going through labor and delivery, all of that is such a huge strain on a person.
Mm-hmm.
that too is something that I think we need to be mindful of around Mother's Day.
Yeah, Oh, definitely. Like even with my like my mom, I'm always like trying. We always try to find different things for her too. From
Hmm.
she's very much, I'd say, in line with your wife in the fashion of like, oh, I don't need anything, like I just want your love, like whatever
Hmm.
kind of deal. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, come on, and there's something. What is it? Like
Yeah.
just say it. But either we figure it out or we've just kind of come to like, all right, like get her a nice card or something like
Hmm.
that, or send her some flowers or whatever. So nothing doesn't have to be anything huge,
Yeah.
but
And I mean, when your kids are really young, like under 10, let's say,
Mhm.
I think what you want is time away from them,
I would agree with that.
you know. But once they hit their, like, a little older than 10, maybe in their teen years especially, is you want time with them. It really switches
Well, yeah,
because
because
they
I mean,
move.
yeah, they start
Yeah,
doing
because they're
other
starting
things and
to
whatever else. Yeah.
separate. And I read a thing earlier today, and that what a lot of, like, if you're out on your own, you're just getting out in the world in your 20s and such, that your parents, your mom would want from you might be a promise. And I thought this was the coolest thing, because a basically a commitment to a positive change in your life,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go back to school or something, or I've decided to quit smoking or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe not, those are huge things, of course, but something that you look at that say, I'm going to do this for you because I know it's good for me, even if though I don't want to do it, but it would make you happy, you know.
Yeah.
And to give your mom that promise is, I think, is, and I wouldn't promise things like that because it's easy to fall down on them. I don't want to break a promise, but to tell them, I'm going to make a commitment to my bestest to start losing weight, or to, make sure I do this or that. And then going to see them. Because
Yeah.
again, the older you get, the more they want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Because you're no longer needy.
I try to call my parents at least every other week and
Mm-hmm.
check in with them, just have time to
Yeah.
share stories and find out
Yeah.
who all died in my town, because that's I
That's a
get
big topic.
my
Yeah.
parents, like it's always like,
Yeah.
hey, did you know so and so died? Like I don't know what it is about like parents, but
Yeah.
they love to just like put that all out there.
It's,
Did
yeah,
you
it's
know
a thing.
did you know so and so? I'm like, no, I didn't know them. Kind of deal.
And when you get there, you'll be doing it too. You'll be telling your kids, oh, hey, did you know, so the garbage man, he took our garbage for 16 years and he
Yeah.
passed away. No, why would I know this person? I was a child. I didn't care about the garbage.
Right. So just, I mean, just stuff like that, like, getting that phone call and
Mm-hmm.
hey, like, like for instance, like my dad was at a bowling tournament this weekend. So I called him on Monday. I was like, hey, how was the bowling tournament? How did you do? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like just have a conversation with him and
Mm-hmm.
see how it goes. Of course, he's grumbling because he didn't do so well, but at least he's, he can just get it all out, because he probably did share it with my mom, but I feel like he gets even more like candid and like just animated when he's talking to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
plus I understand it because I've gone bowling with him, so I get where he's coming from.
Right.
But yeah, just stuff like that, like just being able to have that, like, okay, like I'm going to do my due diligence to stay connected with my parents and especially
Mm-hmm.
my mom, that kind of thing. Because I'll get the other text messages. Hey, how you doing? Like, I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
I know I've missed it at that point. I'm like, all right, I gotta call him.
Right. Oh yeah, I gotta get caught up. Yeah, and just taking any time and attention, of course, to give to your mom when you're an adult, to your to your older mom, and
Yeah.
then bringing your kids around to see them. And you may do that all the time anyway, but I think, again, Mother's Day is one of those moments where you get to really just pinpoint it, that this is for you.
Yeah.
I don't need a babysitter today. I don't need anybody to do my laundry. I don't need any
Yeah.
more food. I just wanted to come by and say that I love you and I appreciate what you did for me, and take advantage of that when you have the opportunity.
In the first few years when Hezekiah was born, I realized that I bet I was an asshole baby to my to my parents. And I remember calling my mom up and being like, I am so sorry. Like
Mhm.
I know the thing that I'm experiencing right now, you had to have experienced it. And I just want to
Right.
pull what hair I don't have on my head out right now. And I was like, I could only imagine what it
Yeah.
was, because he's got my DNA in there, so I
Uh-huh.
know. She's like, I appreciate you saying that.
Mhm. And I think that's every kid, man.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, even Marnie, she is, it's hilarious because Marnie is a really good person. She was a really good kid. I mean, she never did anything, never got in trouble, and she was fairly compliant. She didn't really fight. They didn't fight among themselves or that much or anything. They had a pretty nice, well-balanced family. And yeah, she starts dealing with our kids. And I think it was the first like 3 days she had to spend by herself when I had left. I don't know when, for what early thing. And she was like, oh yeah, I'm glad you're back. I got to call my mom. Okay. Everything all right? Yeah, I just got to apologize for a couple of things.
I mean, you come to that realization quite fast that
Yeah.
there's there's a lot of you coming out in your kids in different aspects. You're like, yeah,
tiny version of yourself. Yeah.
very much so. Yeah, you're looking in the mirror quite a bit. So,
Yep.
but yeah, man, sounds like pretty low key, and I think that's the thing too. Like, honestly, Mother's Day, honoring the mother of your children, honoring your mother, doesn't have to be anything super extraordinary. It's the acknowledgement, I feel like, and just what you put into that, and that's, I feel like most moms would appreciate that. And I think it goes the same way with dads too, honestly, like with Father's Day as well. Like it's just that, what is it that, just basically saying like, hey, this is what I appreciate you, like that, just using those words are, something that maybe they never expected to hear come out of their kid's mouth, that kind of thing. Like, I appreciate this about you, kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
that's a lot of times that's all I think parents want to hear is like, are we appreciated? We are, parents are sacrificing all kinds of things. We're trying to do the best for our kids and that kind of stuff. And it's like, is it actually being seen and registered? What does that look like? And so I think a lot of times we are just all like just waiting to hear any type of affirmation from our children. So it's nice when it comes out.
Realization that I have given up my life.
Yeah.
Everything that I ever wanted to do, I put on hold or I just canceled.
Right.
I share my favorite food with you.
Yeah.
There's no greater sacrifice.
Very true. That I can resonate with that one, because it's like anytime I eat seafood, I've got to share it. I don't get it. I don't get to enjoy just it myself.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
And it keeps on expounding into other things too, You're like, oh, like I really enjoy this. Oh, that's fun. Can I do that too? You're like, all right.
Yeah. I guess so. Is that a chocolate bar? You wouldn't like it. It's spicy. Shove it into my mouth. Like, I get it.
Well, that was we were talking about last night about how when kids get older and they start seeing things, they're like, oh, they want to do that. It's like, okay, at what point is Hezekiah going to be like, I want to go to the brewery with you and like learn how to make beer and all that stuff, and we're just going to do it. It's like, yeah, that's coming around real quick. I
was going to say that's like in the next year. I'm
but
sure.
very possible.
I mean, you start making beer at home. You're going to have to.
I don't have to make it at home when I can go to the. I can go to the brewery.
Can he go in there?
Yeah, he can go in there. Yeah,
cool.
It's like
he just can't drink.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not 16, so
right, and he's not like working with the. Because like there are different things, like you can't work on stuff, but like you can be in there. So yeah, because we give tours through there all the time. So that's But anyway,
can't wait to taste his first beer.
I can't either.
That he makes. Oh, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be like a mud pie.
You never know. Like, I mean,
we got pine needles in there. Okay.
He came up with the idea to do like a hot chocolate Mexican stout, actually, to pair with like a dessert when we were watching the Great British Bake Off. So
that all sounds good to me, and I don't like beer.
I know, right? Yeah,
Mexican
exactly.
chocolate, and yeah.
So I mean, I think that he would do well with it. He likes science, so I think he'd be able to figure it out pretty quickly, because that's the other half of it, is being able to
Mhm.
work with the ratios and things along those lines.
Oh, yeah.
So I think
Yep.
he'd pick it up pretty quickly, actually. So just all those things. I think when it comes into being a parent, like, it's just kind of watching and seeing what's going to happen out of it.
Yep.
I was
For
thinking too-
dads and moms.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking too, like, as we were talking about this, I know one thing that's going to happen while this episode is being listened to, we're going to get messages from Eric Schorberg, if he hasn't already sent them already. So I just, because he's always listening, and then he sends us messages as he listens. And I love it.
Yep.
Like, all of a sudden I just start seeing him like show up on my messenger. I'm like, oh, here he's listening to the show.
And responding in his time to our recorded time.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And honestly, anybody else that wants to, go for it, because I think that's the funnest thing ever, is like, that's the interaction that it's just, for me, I feel like it's very organic in a way, and just very much like this really fun way to connect with a listener as they're listening to it. You're like, oh, like, you're getting their reactions and their answers to stuff. So hopefully I'd love to see some other listeners do that as well, because it does make the day kind of fun when they just start popping up.
Yep.
Well, I don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go if we can, because my kids just dropped something.
Oh, fun.
It's been like 5 minutes ago, and I went, okay, all right. Nobody's screaming, so nobody got cut by whatever broke. And then there's no noise out there now.
Well, then before we go, for
they're
any
cleaning it up.
for any of our listeners who are moms, we'd like to say Happy Mother's Day. We hope that
Happy Mother's Day.
We hope that it's a fun day for you, and whatever happens with that. So,
and we thank you. Very grateful for you all.
Yeah, definitely. Very grateful. And with that, y'all have a good one. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.